Jen and Samson with his peanut butter here. Hope y'all are well and had a nice winter solstice, holiday season, whatever it is that you observe. I'm going to try and make this brief. I'm not sure how I'm feeling lately, kind of magenta. Those of you who watch old sitcoms should know the reference from Designing Women. That's kind of how I'm feeling lately. So where to begin? Let me ramble for a minute and give a little intro. So I found another one, and that's what we're going to talk about briefly. I don't know how many videos I'm ever going to do. I don't plan things anymore. Until pretty recently, I thought I was losing my mind. And that's what this journey has been about. Just experimenting with my reality, with our reality. Running little hypotheses, experiments. Determining if the results are biased or if I need to change my worldview, if we are experiencing changes in our reality, what is causing them, if we need to change our worldview, if we've been wrong, taught wrong, or all of the above. I don't really plan things anymore, though, because, well, I just don't. I used to plan everything down to like the moment. I was pretty anal that way, especially as a mom. I wanted to make sure I had everything just so, everything my children needed. Never had anything I needed. I was always real flighty that way, but my kids they always had what they needed. It probably doesn't look like it from the outside. It probably looks like I'm falling apart from the outside, but I'm conserving my strength. I'm being pulled away from technology. I don't know if you guys are feeling that way. Are you feeling that way? I'm feeling like I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this because it's feeling more and more pointless. Not that you don't matter, because you do. Not that I don't matter, because I do. But maybe the venue needs to change. Because again, technology is getting away from us, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit today. I found another one. I found another case, another human being, another case study that's disappointing, that's disheartening. And also I can talk a little bit about my own experience and how as scientists, as our own scientists, every day we have to look at our own experience, our own personal experience, and add that in to the collective and say, okay, yes, we can add personal experience to all of this and say something is happening here. There are those teachers out there that will say, no, you can't add personal experience, that's feeling, and feeling is misleading. Well, that's folly. You have to add personal experience, right? We are who we become because of our personal experience. Our perspective is what it is because of our personal experience. Our bias is what it is because of our personal experience. We shouldn't let it lead us around by our nose, right? This is why we have to be mirrors to each other. But it does count for something. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we've talked about how there are all these people, and I'll use Paul Washer as an example because he is a public figure, and when you're a public figure, you put yourself out there. Even us today, people like me, you put yourself out there in a way. Not me so much, because as far as I'm aware, I only have a little over 200 people watching, right? That's all I'm aware of, okay? For all intents and purposes, at this point in time, that's all I'm aware of. If I was aware of more, maybe I'd behave differently. Maybe I'd put a little more work into editing and polishing. Maybe I'd put a little more money into devices and that kind of thing, firewalls, security. But I don't, so I don't, right? But Paul Washer, right? I did a video a little while back about his black eye. And in the Black Eye Club, we know this. Brad Pitt, right? Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. But there is something happening with that. And we know that by the time something comes into the physical, it's because there's something perpetuating it or driving it from the spirit. And we know this. This is science. It's not just woo-woo spirit, right? In science, they call it quantum mechanics. The things unseen. The things only seen maybe on a microscopic level. Very, very small, right? Cellular. We have all these words for it. Microscopic, cellular, microchasm. In computers, what is it called? Sam, calm down. It's just peanut butter, dude. Give it a rest. My goodness. He is attacking that. The word eludes me right now. Micromanage. Oh, gosh. Bits. Qubits. You know what I'm getting at. But we know this. We know there are things that you cannot see with the eye that drive the things that you can see with the eye, right? And so I have to touch on the word. Whether or not you believe in the Bible, we also understand, some of us, that there's a thought and we express the thought with the word, and then from the word comes an action. And that this word, for whatever reason, affects the physical manifestation that we call reality. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? God and Mammon, Luke 16:13. Before that was the light of the body, Luke 11:33 through 36. Okay. So I found another one, and it's somebody that I admire. And again, please keep in mind these people are celebrities. And this is all a lesson in discernment. This is not to throw these people under the bus, but they do put themselves out there. I only do this with people who have millions of subscribers. So please understand that as well. But I have to do this as an example to show you that not so much about me, not that I know what I'm talking about, but to show you, let's use our discernment. There is something happening, but what is it? I don't know. I don't know what it is. You tell me, what is happening? Because it's disheartening. Something is happening to humanity. Why? I don't know. But it seems a lot to do with Antarctica, the ice, darkness, the eyes, black goo, and the Black Eye Club. And I'm going to show you these images, and we've seen them before. We've done this before. And you tell me. I don't know. I'm really losing traction here. But I am, I'm conserving my strength. And I am pulling away from this stuff. And I hope that you are too. So let's take a look at this latest thing that I found. So I went over this physics girl. I went over her YouTube account. And I've done this before on her. But I went back to check in to see if anything had changed, and nothing has. If you go back about 4 years, Samson, enough, lay down. If you go back about 4 years, when CV began, you'll see that a lot of these accounts had changed. But it's just as I had said, right after the eclipse, things had started changing with people. Then they announced CV. If you ask me, CV is the excuse people are using. Okay? The changes started happening before CV. Is there anyone even here? If you understand the way I'm explaining this, please give the video a thumbs up just so I know you're following along, okay? And let me again say that I'm not a doctor. None of this is medical advice. The disclaimers are in the description. None of this is medical advice. We are breaking down what might be happening in the spiritual. This is a symbolic breakdown. This has nothing to do medically. I'm not a medical professional. For that type of guidance, please seek your professional in that chosen field, or your chosen professional in that field, okay? Again, we are breaking down symbolically images that we are seeing in social media. This has nothing to do with anything medical, okay? This is something that was posted on her account a year before things started to happen with other things, okay? And again, I don't even have to mention certain things. We'll just look at the images. So she posts this. Fun fact, concussions can change your mood. When filming this, I didn't realize I had a concussion. And again, I'm just going to read her words. This doesn't make any sense to me. The doctors checked my eyesight and helped me craft my story about the 50-foot wave with the shark and the child I saved, but they didn't mention a concussion. The day after I filmed this, I felt really down and depressed. Then 2 days later, felt happy again, the mood whiplash. I found out a week later I had a concussion and would have definitely not filmed the JWST video, another video, the same day had I known. A dire warning for the lot of you. I'm going to read one part of that again, and I quote, the doctors checked my eyesight and helped me craft my story, end quote. Craft my story. What is she talking about? This is the video that pinned comment is from. What happened to my face? There's her black eyeball, much like we saw in the Paul Washer video. Okay. I like Physics Girl. I like that she breaks physics down for normal people like me, laymen like me, because Physics Girl I am not. But I do also see that she is very mainstream. I believe at this point some of what she is teaching is like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye the Science Guy. I think some of it is erroneous. Not all of it, but some of it. I have a reason that I think that. Here's another strange one I saw. Now, she's been in bed for the last 4 years. The only videos you see are videos her new husband, right after she got married, she in Hawaii. That's important, in Hawaii, okay? Because Hawaii has what? Hawaii has volcanoes. Volcanoes are what? They have black what? Obsidian. Black obsidian. File that in the back of your memory for right now, okay? Because that's with black goo. Just let it hang out there. Every video since she got married that is shown of her, she is in bed with her face covered. She's got her eyes covered and her face covered, or her eyes are shut like this. And it's a video of a video, okay? Or they are showing her actually being carted out by medical professionals going to the ER. I will tell you, as somebody who's has a chronic condition, I have fibromyalgia allegedly, but I've done a lot to change my diet over the last couple of years, and I feel like I'm getting better. I'm not like 100%, but I'm better than I was. The last thing I want somebody doing is filming my face. You'll see that like I don't film myself a lot because I don't like to primp. Like I don't primp myself a lot. It's just not something I do. Because I don't always feel well, right? I don't always want people looking at me. So the last thing I do is have like a film crew. And she has a film crew. And they film her going to the hospital. That's the last thing you want if you're truly ill. Okay, and I'm just being honest here. These people have talent agents. They have film crews. This is what they do. There's a reason that they're filming these things to show the public. All right? There's a reason I'm doing this, and I am putting myself on the line to tell you these things. I have no film crew. I'm sitting here in my bedroom with my dog shaking around. You can hear him. Pointing these things out to you putting myself at risk and my personal life on the line, because we need to expose these things. When you expose them, just like Cat Williams was saying in a video that I shared on the community page the other day, when you expose them, they lose the enchantment. They lose the spell power, the spell work that they have over people. You have to expose them. That's why they get so mad at people like me, and that's why they want to shut us up. That's why they try to take our platforms away from us. That's why we become targeted, okay? There's a reason they're filming this woman doing these things. And she only has a few people around her. I don't know if she is even with us at this time. I don't know if she is in the occult at this time. I don't know what is happening, but I know that these things are not normal, okay? And I know they are being filmed with a purpose. She has not been up and around in like 4 years in any of the videos. And a couple of them, they're washing her hair and her face is in the water. I don't know how the woman's breathing. And in this video, she has beautiful long hair, which, yes, you can start to sweat a lot if you're bedridden. Why, any good caregiver, why are they letting her cut her own beautiful hair while she's laying down with her eyes closed? No good caregiver is going to do that for someone. And now you hear my little dog out there. She doesn't like my oldest son. She will start to do that when he goes out there. You hear that she's doing that now because they don't want me pointing these things out to the general public. This is why they're taking my platform away from me. This is why they've given me so many problems the last 4 years. This is why I've been abused. This is why on January 11th, it will be the anniversary of my battery, because they wanted to shut me up. This is why you'll see these small channels mocking me and copying the things that I do, and mocking me crying and reading Psalms and then removing them. This is why they do these things, because they want to shut me up. They don't want me telling you about these things. What is up with the Black Eye Club? What is going on? Because now it's not just mainstream celebrities in Hollywood. They are doing this to the Hollywood celebrities now, and they are taking over Hollywood. They are the ones, what is the word I'm looking for? They are the ones throwing the Hollywood celebs under the bus. It's all YouTube now. Look at Daily Wire. They're throwing all the Hollywood celebs under the bus because they want to be them. They want to be them now. And they are them now. That's what YouTube has turned into. And frankly, I don't personally want to be a part of it anymore. Now, I wanted to talk about the Black Ewan aspect with this because whatever is happening to people, it seems to actually be affecting their personality. It's not just some... It's deeper. It goes deeper than some type of cult of personality. It actually affects their, it degrades their morality. Like if you go to her page and you look at some of the posts since all this, like her friend, one of her guy friends posted a video, right? And it's like her husband, they're all wearing masks, but it's her in a bed with no clothes on. But the two guys behind her, like, what is happening? And they're all asking for Patreon donations, but she's in the bed with no clothes. What? Why is this why are we okay with all of this? I don't understand. Like, I really don't. And that's all that the cult of scientism has turned into. They're just... it's old school witches. Like that's like, I don't know, man. Like I've totally lost the plot with all of this. These people are maddening. Like I've lost my mind with it. I don't know what to think about any of it anymore. And they, like my whole life, they totally throw all these distractions in my daily life now just so I can't point these things out to you. Go lay down. I'm not even kidding, little girl. Lay down. What are you barking at? Seriously. I'm not dealing with this. And so the deal with the black goo, right? You see it when her black eye picture is posted that... I'm going to knock this dog out. I'm not even playing no more. Like it's never ending. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't even know what to think. Like I don't. Why would you bring a female dog in with 2 male dogs other than to cause problems? Lay down. Lay down. I'm moving out. Like I'm not doing this anymore. Me and Sam have to find somewhere else to go. This is nothing. This is maddening. And it's all demonic. Like peeking around the doors and like it's all just very weird at this point, and I don't want to do it anymore. Okay. So before she posted this with the black eye, 6 months to a year before that, she was in Antarctica. And they were camping, right, in the ice and all that. And you know what I think of Antarctica at this point. I think of it as being Tartar or Tartaria, where the fallen angels were entrapped, okay? Now, I have not found a lot. It says that the fallen angels are trapped until the day of judgment, and they're not supposed to get out. So I don't know if what we're dealing with is a second incarnation, if it is hybrids. And so I want to look up the date of something, and I hope you guys will be patient with me for a second, and I hope I don't have to... I might end up doxing myself. Hang on a sec. Hold, please. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't want to dox myself. Oh, where was it? There we go. Sorry about that. IVF created. I wanted to see when this was created. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving advice of that kind. I think we're dealing with a couple different bloodlines, and we're not supposed to argue about these things. And it doesn't matter to me personally, but it seems like at this time we're dealing with something that I wasn't taught about, but like I'm in the dark about it. I'm ignorant about it. And it seems like some of us weren't taught about it, but some were. And so some of us have to play catch up. And I'm very curious, like to me, I'm wondering if like 1970 worked with a woman who had blocked fallopian tubes. Dates back as early as 1890, 1965, 1968. See, because this reminds me, it's my theory. Okay, so hold please. I want to show you guys. Can I do it from here? I don't know if I can. Will it let me mess with my YouTube while I'm live? Can I do that? I don't know if I can. Hang on. We'll find out, I guess, right? Can I find out? Alright, so you guys know who this guy is. I've shared him enough, right? If I can find him. Where is he? Truthor? Isn't that his name? If you guys are here with me, where did he go? I just shared him the other day. Oh my gosh, watch, he blocked me or something. and he ain't even been on in like 4 years. I went to his website too, and it's the first time I ever went to his website. And it was strange, guys. It was full of all kind of occult symbolism, and I've never visited it before, but it was very weird. Truth or, isn't that what it was? Truth or? Is it not letting me? I just shared it not too long ago. Oh, please. Can I go over there and look? Let me view my channel. There we go. I know all his stuff pretty much by heart at this point. I share stuff all the time just to remind myself it's over there. Okay, so he's another guy too that you want to watch. Stella Maid. Where is he? I am Truthor. That's it. Okay, so if you've never seen him, he gets into how his reality specifically is manipulated, and it's kind of textbook if you read like into psychology about originally how schizophrenia was diagnosed. And again, I'm not a doctor of any kind, all right? It's just stuff that interests me. And back in the day, how people would say the TV was talking to them specifically, and it told them to do things and this, that, and the other. But he really shows you specific examples of how entities, or whatever you want to call them, on TV, like, seem to be AI creations. Now, I'm not going to disagree with this. When I was growing up, it was a well-known fact, for example, that celebrities would have doubles who would go out and do impersonations of them. I worked at nursing homes where we would have Elvis impersonators who would come in, and, you know, they knew that they were impersonators, but they still put on a good show and the residents would have a good time, right? This was known. There was also a known fact that celebs would get married and they would, make music together and movies together sometimes just to make money, or because they performed well together. They had chemistry. It wasn't for love, right? It was just business. These things were known. If you want to take this a step further, this is what this guy is saying. I've been noticing this a lot, and I've been taking screenshots of characters in ads and things that seem to resemble family members of mine, like my sister. I even showed you where there were people that look like my mother, my deceased mother. I've seen people in my walking reality that look like my father and my mother both. Both are deceased. I don't know what is happening. I don't know how that could happen in reality unless you get into like woo-woo territory with like shapeshifters and demons and that whole bit. But I know that whatever is happening is pulling me further and further away from technology. And further and further away from we should expose it without. Remember in Nightmare on Elm Street when Nancy turns her back on it, right? And she takes the energy away from it? We should do that, but we don't have to talk to it, right? I think sometimes by naming it and by talking to it, like all these shows with all the exorcists on right now, I think it's too much. Remember when I said whatever way the public trends or the masses trend, we should go the other way? Well, look at what YouTube is showing us right now. You know, I don't ever want to be a part of the problem. And so I've been trying to take a break and really just allow the refinement process to work on me. God, I hope this makes sense. So again, I don't know exactly what is happening. I just know something is happening, and I knew that I Am Truther was on to something before most of us were. Now, if you go to his, does he have his webpage here? Right there. So this is his website, and I just want to use it again as like a case study example. If you look at his webpage, for example, there's some concerning stuff here. He hasn't posted anything in a while, and again, most people have experienced some massive, massive changes in their physiological and personality makeups since about January of 2019. For me, my anniversary is January 11th, 2019. That was when the battery took place. But I would say it goes back as far as the eclipse of, what was it, 2017 or 2018? Oh, if she does not shut up. I will get to her. She's just a yipper. That's what her breed does. She's in heat. She will not leave Sammy alone, but she is too little for him. Now, if you want to go through his website in your own time, he goes through all this different stuff about all these coincidences that happened to him. Now, some of it is hard to understand because, again, it's very personally based. But I've been noticing some of the stuff he talks about here with like the ads and whatnot, they do happen to me too a lot. And again, it's like your phone is listening to you. And we've talked about this. We know this. This is something we've known for a long time. But it's as if it's sentient, okay? Again, file that in the back of your mind, much like the Hawaii thing, okay? With the sentient obsidian black goo type thing, all right? Now, there was something else on his website that I wanted to show you. He has pictures of himself, and I don't remember where they're at. If I can... Okay, his pictures are concerning. I don't know if these are stock photos he grabbed from somewhere, but they're weird. I don't know what they're about, but some of them are kind of weird, okay? They're just odd. And some of his photos look like they're a little, I don't know, they look like AI. They look like they've been put through an AI filter. I don't know how else to say that. And it's just weird. But he makes a lot of good points about AI, how things are generated. But there's one picture where he has the one eye thing, and it looks like a Terminator eye. And again, we read in Esdras about the one eye being shining and the Antichrist eye and yada yada, that whole thing. So we did that. Oh, that picture. That's kind of concerning. You've got the dark glasses again. We've talked about this, about people since TV started, about them wearing the dark sunglasses even when they're inside, which is just weird. I don't get it. It's strange to me. Seems to be, again, it's just something to file back in there. Now, the sentient thing. Your cell phones are made of... Let me see if I can Google it real quick for those of you who don't know. Okay. So, your cell phone screens are made of silica sand, okay? Silica sand is from the bottom of the ocean, right? Again, you get into the whole, is it sentient? Is this a sentient being? And is this then Black Mirror type, oracle type, divination, witchcraft type things that we have in the palms of our hands every single day? Are we guilty of divination every single day just by having the cell phone in our hands? And again, this goes back to the thing where we're talking about our daily habits, right? And the coffee. Now, I'm not saying that you should never drink coffee again. I am saying let's be aware of our daily rituals and habits and routines. The coffee that you drink originally was a sacrificial item that was beloved and given to a deity, and was also partaken of to get your mind to a place where you could commune with a deity, almost like the Eucharist is to a Catholic today. Coffee was to a pagan of yesterday, okay? We need to be aware of these things. We need to understand that our minds are open because of these things. Because we're not taking proper precautions, we're not protecting ourselves, our families, and our children. Because of these, in our spirits are open, and they are, what's the word I'm looking for? Vulnerable, right? They're vulnerable to harm because of this, because of our daily habits, because we're not aware of what we're actually doing, because of the vulnerabilities, because of the holes that we have in our armors every single day. Okay. So let's see. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I want to know. Hey, hush up. I'll be out in a couple minutes. She is so needy. Like I've only ever had boys, right? Boy children, boy dogs. Like I don't even. And we want to know why this is a negative thing, right? Okay, so gallium provides light-emitting dioxide backlighting. It is the primary source of this commodity. Silicon, the content of copper in a mobile device far exceeds the amount of any other metal. Copper conducts electricity and heat and comes from the source mineral. And I just shared a video about copper the other day on the community page. If you did not see it, you should watch it. Silicon is very abundant in the Earth's crust, is produced from the source mineral quartz. And quartz is like, I've talked about this. I've talked about quartz being possibly an abundant substance in possibly in many of today's illicit street drugs, because I think it opens the mind and it makes the mind like a receiver for other entities. Okay, much like LSD or psilocybin mushrooms. Okay, I think that quartz, when finally ground up into like dust. Follow me here. Anyone who's ever done, illicit substances. I think that quartz, when mixed in with street substances, can open the mind and allow other entities to then attach to you. And I think that is what we're seeing on a massive scale today, thanks to cartels in America. And I know this from personal experience and also from experimenting with myself. Because I told you that I would do certain things to test them. And of course, I have not done illicit drugs since I started the channel, but I have read a lot about crystals, and I have read a lot about what the Earth's crust is made of. And I found out that a lot of the caves and a lot of the underground tunnels, especially those in Arkansas, which we talked about, have a lot. Oh, and also the what is the other thing? Oh, hush up, little girl. The altars and the sacrificial sites and the pagan sites, they are also rich with things like sandstone and quartz. So there's that. But I wanted to show you that it's not a green source of energy. It's not something that you want to be, using. Like it's not a good thing, right? It's not abundant. It's not something that's we should be using. Where's silica sand found? And see, a lot of people, they were talking about this, and it's very hard to find information on this now. And a YouTuber did a great documentary on this. And after that, he was promoted. He into the club. Then he took the documentary down. Now he's in the club. He only does certain kind of videos now. And you can't find the documentary anywhere. But they use so much of the earth or the ocean sand that it started changing the ocean. Like it's affecting our weather, and it's caused erosion because we're creating so many screens with our laptops and our cell phones and our computer screens and our televisions just because of all the screens. That alone, just the fact that we're manufacturing so many telephone screens and television screens and is affecting the earth. And people will say, oh, well, you're an earth worshiper, or, oh, climate change isn't real. It doesn't matter what you call it, what you name it. The Bible talks about it. You can tell just by going outside that something's wrong. I can tell, my plants, the leaves and stuff start to get holes in them, and they start to turn black and whatnot now. That's not normal. They have like a severe lack of oxygen. I don't breathe well. I have to use an inhaler. I mean, it's very clear that something is wrong, but people don't want to talk about it. Everybody just wants to point fingers and play the blame game, but nobody, if we each do our own little parts, each of us, just every one of us, but people don't want to talk about that. And that's why videos are hard for me now, because I'm not seeking views and I'm not seeking subs. Like, that's not what it's about for me. I just want to connect with you guys, and I want to talk about solutions. Like, what do you guys think we can do? What can we do every single day, each one of us? What can we do on our own? How can we create less waste, and how can we be part of the solutions? And what are your ideas? And how can we do better? How can we consume less? I'm excited to hear your ideas too. But I know that I personally can't go on like I am. Just the amount of guilt that I feel every day because of how things are. I mean, my fellow man is struggling, and here I am. I have a roof, and I have dogs, and I have a fellow man is out there and doesn't have a roof and can't even feed himself. Something should change, right? I don't know, guys. It's just really hard now for me. And I know not everybody feels this way. And I know that, like, oh, you're a bleeding heart, and why do you care about the homeless? They're all drug addicts. They get what they deserve, and you got to want to help yourself. I mean, I've heard all that. You really think every single homeless person out there is on drugs? Man, people are sick of this system. Everybody's sick of the debauchery. Like, I don't want to pay into this no more. I don't want to sit and be a part of this anymore either. And I don't as much as I can. Like, I just don't participate. Have you guys, like, do you guys even delve into any of it anymore? Like, do you hear any of the lyrics in any of the songs that the youth are listening to? Do you see any of the games that they're playing on social media? Do you see any of the, it is disgusting. They're not going to want to take care of any of us in our elderly years. You've got to make sure you're healthy on your own. It's not worth a couple hamburgers. Your health isn't worth it, because there isn't going to be anybody to take care of us the way we've taken care of our elderly. It's just not going to happen. They just don't care. And it literally is like the Bible says, it's a generation of vipers. And it's shameful because I helped raise this generation. How do you think I feel about it? I feel terrible. And it's guilt every day, but I can't force myself on my children or the children around me. They don't want anything to do with me. And I cooked for these children. I fed them. I washed their clothes, you know, and I was there for them, and I took them places, and I took them swimming, and I did for them. But did we do too much? Did we spoil them? I don't know. I don't know what to do different anymore. Like I just don't participate anymore. And I pray for everybody, and I don't know, guys. Like I don't know what the answer is. So I'm taking care of myself the best I can, the dogs the best I can. I feed people when I can and donate where I can. And I'm getting strong as I can. And I pray for all you the best I can. But I don't know, like this is all just so disheartening, like seeing all this. But if you go to this young lady's page, you'll see for the last 4 years, you've not actually seen her up and around and alive, but you'll see the men around her begging for donations. Is this another one where she was married off and some type of insurance was claimed on her? And they're just profiting off of this woman's name? It's disgusting. Like the things I'm seeing, it's disgusting, all of it. And people should be ashamed of themselves, and nobody's ashamed. Nobody has the sense to be ashamed. And I don't even know what to think anymore. I don't know what to think. And everybody's enabling it. Nobody's calling anybody out on their bullshit. I love you guys, and I pray for you. Please pray for me. I'm still debating on whether to get a laptop. I don't know if I should bother. Why should I bother polishing videos and making nice, beautiful videos? I'm half debating doing a pilgrimage. Me and Sammy going a couple states this spring and summer, seeing how far we can get and just doing like a rosary pilgrimage. But I don't know where I'd go. I don't know how far we'd go or I don't know. The state of things at this point is disheartening. So please pray for us. That's the thing though. Like I'm getting strong inside, so don't feel sorry or pity for me. Let's just all pray, right? Let's pray, let's fast, and not to sound cliche, but you know, I love you guys. So pray, fast, and stay strong.